Belarus is a land full of surprises, where fascinating traditions meet modern quirks. Known for its low cost of living and captivating culture, it's also home to some of the most provocative and mysterious women in the world. From stunning lifestyle to unexpected historical twists, this country is far more intriguing than you might imagine. What does Belarus hold that makes it so unique and interesting? Join us as we uncover 16 fascinating facts about this hidden gem. Number 16. There aren't enough men in Belarus. Our first stop on Interesting Facts About Belarus involves the country's ongoing struggle with a significant shortage of men. Logically, which has been alleged to create challenges in society and family dynamics. Women, who make up 53.4% of the population, find it increasingly hard to secure partners. This issue has been linked to multiple factors, with unhealthy lifestyle choices among men being a significant contributor. The widespread habits of alcohol consumption and tobacco use have been said to drastically reduce the average life expectancy of Belarusian men, who typically live 10 to 12 years shorter than women. This has further worsened the gender imbalance. Additionally, migration trends are believed to be making the situation worse. Many young Belarusians leave the country in pursuit of better opportunities for education, work, and settling abroad, leading to a so-called brain drain. Consequently, women remaining in Belarus are left facing even greater difficulties in finding partners, further widening gaps in family and community relationships. This imbalance is seen as affecting not only social structures, but also causing a decline in birth rates, potentially posing long-term risks for the country's population growth. Experts have cautioned that without timely intervention, Belarus might face a demographic crisis in the near future. That said, the next fact about Belarus might come as a bigger surprise. Number 15. Shirtless to work day. Here's a funny story for you. Back in 2016, President Alexander Lukashenko unintentionally started a bizarre trend during a public speech. While urging people to work hard and sweat for better efficiency, a linguistic mix-up in Belarusian caused some unexpected hilarity. The phrases "take off your shirt" and "work hard" apparently sound quite similar, leading many to interpret his words literally. What followed was a nationwide craze. Office workers across the country reportedly began removing their shirts, snapping photos of themselves half-dressed, and sharing the images on social media. This humorous interpretation of the president's message quickly turned into a creative and light-hearted trend. It wasn't just office workers who joined in. Hospital staff, farmers, and even teachers were said to have taken part. Their shirtless photos flooded social media, creating a frenzy that left people both amused and amazed. The whole thing transformed what was meant to be a call for serious labor into a national joke. Although President Lukashenko probably never intended for his words to be taken this way, the Belarusian people showed their playful side. The incident was seen as proof of their cheerful and optimistic nature, demonstrating their ability to find humor even in the most unexpected situations. More so, the country also has a lesser issue with inequality. Let's dive into that next. Number 14. Beer is cheaper than soda. If a trip to Belarus is on your travel list, here's something unexpected. Beer there is often said to cost less than soda, like Pepsi or Coca-Cola. Reports suggest that a glass of fresh beer is typically priced at around $1 to $2, while soda can sometimes be more expensive. While beer might be seen as a luxury drink for celebrations in many countries, it has been described as a part of everyday life in Belarus. It is noted not just as a drink, but as a way to bring people together. Belarusians are known to enjoy spending weekends with friends and family, and it's common to share a few glasses of beer in a laid-back, happy setting. From small, cozy bars to traditional restaurants, beer is always said to have a spot on the menu. However, it is also pointed out that laws in Belarus don't allow public drinking. Consuming beer in places like parks, squares, or streets is said to be prohibited. While this might seem contradictory, the rule is believed to help maintain order and civility in public spaces. So, while buying beer is easy and inexpensive, drinking it outdoors could lead to trouble. Despite its availability and affordability, beer drinking in Belarus is said to be taken seriously. Parties are viewed not as excuses for drunken behavior, but as chances to bond and share joy. Public drunkenness is therefore rare, since it is considered inappropriate and can lead to penalties. With this in mind, the next fact offers further insight into life in Belarus. Number 13. Low cost of living. With inflation rising steadily in many parts of the world, Belarus has been noted as a place where living comfortably on a tight budget is possible without compromising on basic needs. We are told that the cost of living in Belarus is about 25% of what it is in the United States. To put that into perspective, a family in America spending $4,000 a month could live well in Belarus for just $400 to $600. This budget is said to cover essentials like rent, food, transportation, and basic services. Interestingly, the affordability in Belarus is not attributed to a low standard of living, but owes to the practical and frugal lifestyle of its residents. For instance, rent, which is often a major expense elsewhere, is described as very affordable. A one-bedroom apartment in the center of Minsk, the capital, is said to cost around $300 to $500 per month, while in the suburbs, the price drops to $200 to $350. By comparison, cities like New York or London, where rents often reach $2,000 to $3,000, seem far more expensive. Utilities in Belarus, including electricity, water, heating, and waste services, are also mentioned as being very reasonably priced. Monthly bills are said to range from $50 to $100, with a slight increase during winter months for heating, never exceeding $80 to $120. These low living costs are further complemented by perks like self-sufficient food production, free public transportation for seniors, and nearly free healthcare and education. Life in Belarus is often described as simple and stress-free, focused less on material wealth and more on enjoying the little things. Whether it's tending to a small garden, fixing up an old car, or celebrating vibrant traditional festivals, the lifestyle is said to promote contentment. For anyone looking for a place to live affordably while still enjoying a fulfilling life, Belarus is frequently highlighted as a strong contender. Nevertheless, Belarus is also known for some unusual customs, which we'll touch on next. Number 12. Empowered Belarusian women. Despite ongoing challenges with gender equality in certain areas, women in Belarus have made remarkable strides in society, taking on significant roles in politics, zrenia, business, и профессиональные секторы. The country is often noted for its nearly equal participation of women in the workforce and leadership positions, which is rare when compared to many other nations. The government has focused on encouraging an environment that supports women's development. Policies promoting equal access to education and training have been credited with helping women excel academically and secure leadership roles in fields like economics, politics, and education. For instance, women are said to hold close to 40% of managerial positions in small and medium-sized businesses. In education, women are often described as dominating the field, serving as professors and researchers in top universities and research institutions. A particularly notable example of this progress is the rise of strong female leaders in Belarusian politics. One such figure is Svetlana Tikhanovskaya, who became a symbol of resilience during the 2020 presidential election. Despite starting as a housewife, she stepped up to lead the opposition movement, inspiring not just Belarusian citizens, but women around the world. Her leadership has been seen as a beacon of hope for democracy and a powerful reminder of what women can achieve, even in the face of adversity. Additionally, women from Belarus have been widely recognized on the international stage for their accomplishments. Female athletes such as Victoria Azarenka, a former world #1 in tennis, and Daria Domracheva, a legendary biathlete, have brought immense pride to the nation. Their achievements have gone beyond winning medals. They have inspired younger generations by showing that success can be reached in any area, whether it's sports, politics, or education. Interestingly, because Belarusian women are said to be so empowered and independent, settling down with them has been described as a bit more challenging than usual. Let's explore why in the next chapter. Number 11. Belarusian women and marriage. Belarusian women are often admired for their beauty and elegance, frequently coming in top place in global beauty contests and pageants. However, marrying one isn't as straightforward as it might seem. the Belarusian government has put strict rules in place for marriages involving foreigners. These measures are said to address concerns about brain drain and the gender imbalance in the country. Since there is already a shortage of men, keeping talented and beautiful women in Belarus has become a priority to maintain population and social stability. To discourage women from marrying foreigners and leaving the country, the government requires international couples to meet specific conditions. For instance, anyone wishing to marry a Belarusian woman needs to obtain Belarusian citizenship and live in the country permanently. This rule is said to ensure that the woman remains in Belarus and continues contributing to its economy and society. These regulations have been described as surprising, especially since few countries enforce such strict policies. Additionally, the government is believed to monitor the immigration and long-term residence of Belarusian women abroad, particularly those with exceptional skills in areas like beauty, sports, and the arts. Officials fear that the loss of these talented individuals could negatively impact the nation in significant ways. That said, let us now see how Belarus treats its elderly. Number 10. Free public transportation. If there's one thing older adults around the world often wish for, it's free transportation. In Belarus, that wish isn't just a dream, it's a reality and an essential part of everyday life. Once someone turns 60, they can enjoy completely free rides on public transportation, whether it's a bus, trolleybus, or subway. And when they say free, they mean 100% free. No hidden fees attached. This policy not only helps seniors save money, but also keeps them socially active. Instead of staying cooped up at home, older adults can easily go out to meet friends, join retirement groups, or attend cultural events. This freedom helps them feel a stronger sense of purpose and boosts their mental well-being. With a well-connected public transport system covering the entire country, getting around is said to be incredibly convenient. There's no need to stress about schedules or fares. Just hop on, take a seat, and enjoy the ride. This ease of movement has strengthened family ties too. Grandmas, for example, can visit their grandchildren whenever they want without needing to ask their kids for a ride. What's even more impressive is how well the system runs, despite being subsidized for seniors. Buses and trolleybuses are described as clean, punctual, and comfortable, making travel a pleasant experience. Sometimes, elderly women are even said to bring snacks to share during the ride, turning a simple trip into a cheerful little picnic. But it's not just seniors who enjoy these perks. Young and ambitious individuals also take advantage of the many opportunities Belarus has to offer as well. Number 9. Silicon Valley of Eastern Europe. Minsk, the capital of Belarus, stands out not only for its stunning culture and ancient architecture, but also for being recognized as the Silicon Valley of Eastern Europe. It was here that renowned tech creations like Wargaming, the company behind the popular World of Tanks, Logically, and Viber, the global messaging app later acquired by a Japanese firm for $900 million, got their start. Despite hosting significant tech companies and a vibrant startup scene, the cost of living in Minsk remains surprisingly low compared to other major tech hubs worldwide. Renting an apartment in the city center typically costs between $300 and $500 per month, and dining out is remarkably affordable, with meals priced between $5 and $10. This affordability has made Minsk an attractive destination for tech professionals and aspiring entrepreneurs. Adding to the city's charm are its parks, historic streets, cozy cafes, and lively theaters, which create a blend of cultural richness and convenience. While many tech cities across the globe may push people away with their high living expenses, Minsk provides an ideal balance between work and life. With a thriving tech community, affordable living costs, and a high quality of life, the city is becoming a top choice for those seeking careers in the technology while enjoying a comfortable lifestyle. However, while Minsk flourishes with modern innovation, visitors may be surprised to discover that vehicles from decades past are still a common sight across Belarus. Let's see why that is next. Number 8. Car from the Soviet era. Still run. If you've ever thought vintage cars only belong in museums, a visit to Belarus might change your mind. Hop into a taxi here, and you might find yourself in a Volga or Lada that's over 4 decades old, but still running as smoothly as ever. In Belarus, the age of a car isn't an issue as long as it can do the job. The vehicle you step into might have weathered multiple economic crises and even some of Eastern Europe's turbulent history alongside its owner. While the Volga Gazi 24 or Lada 2101 may appear dated, its performance often surprises with a steady, reliable engine. The secret? A bit of mechanical know-how, a few weekends spent tinkering under the hood, and an enduring love for classic cars. In Belarus, maintaining old vehicles is almost a beloved national tradition. It's not unusual to see older men or hobbyist mechanics dismantling and restoring cars right in their front yards during the weekend. Spare parts for these Soviet-era cars are a prized find at flea markets, where enthusiasts often hunt for treasures to keep their beloved machines running. But here's a fascinating twist about cars in Belarus. Driving a dirty vehicle isn't just frowned upon, it's also illegal. That's right, if your car is covered in mud, you could face fines or even penalties on your driver's license. It's not enough for the car to run well, it must also shine. In fact, cars are expected to be so clean that they could double as mirrors for someone combing their hair. This means washing your car isn't just routine. Car wash stations in Belarus are busy around the clock, and locals take pride in scrubbing every inch of their vehicles, from the windows to the wheel rims, with meticulous care. Even a 40-year-old classic must gleam if it wants to cruise the streets without catching the eye of the police. Belarusians take cleanliness very seriously, and this fact is further proven by how they keep their cities tidy. Number 7. Immaculate Capital. The capital city of Minsk, Zrenia, Belarus, proudly holds a spot among the top 3 cleanest cities in the world, which is an accomplishment that few places can claim. Streets here are immaculate, sidewalks remain tidy, and public buildings are kept in flawless condition. It's rare to spot even a stray candy wrapper or scrap of paper on the ground, and if something does fall, it's often picked up within minutes, usually by a conscientious local. For Belarusians, keeping their surroundings clean is a shared sense of responsibility and a point of national pride. The city's cleaning and urban management system is so efficient that even parks and suburban neighborhoods look as though they've been freshly scrubbed daily. Strict public hygiene laws play a major role in this. Those caught littering face hefty fines, and locals are quick to call out anyone who strays from proper behavior. This disciplined approach extends beyond litter control. Public infrastructure, including bus stops, train stations, and government buildings, is consistently maintained to a pristine standard. The result is not just a highly livable city, but also one that leaves a lasting impression on international visitors. Many are struck by the exceptional cleanliness and the dedication of the local population. Minsk stands as proof of how a modern city can uphold such high standards, with collective pride serving as the driving force behind this achievement. However, part of this success might be linked to Belarus's unique political system. In the next chapter, we'll explore how their governance might explain why things appear to run so smoothly here compared to neighboring nations. Number 6. A special political regime. Under the leadership of President Alexander Lukashenko, Belarus has earned a reputation as one of Europe's most controversial political regimes. Since taking office in 1994, Lukashenko has established a centralized system of absolute power. The government exercises strict control over the media, suppresses dissenting voices, and restricts democratic freedoms. While his early years in office were praised for achieving economic stability, subsequent constitutional changes and extended presidential terms have positioned him as a figure widely criticized as a dictator, particularly by Western nations. Discontent with Lukashenko's rule reached a boiling point during the presidential election in the year 2020. Official results showed him securing over 80% of the votes, while his main opponent, Svetlana Tikhanovskaya, was reported to have received just 10%. These results were widely dismissed as fraudulent by the Belarusian people, sparking mass protests. Within hours, tens of thousands of citizens flooded the streets to demand fair elections. The government responded swiftly and forcefully. Protests were suppressed using stun grenades, rubber bullets, and widespread arrests. By the end of the year 2020, more than 30,000 demonstrators had been detained. Despite significant international pressure, including sanctions imposed by the European Union and the United States, Lukashenko retained his grip on power, largely due to unwavering support from Russia. This political unrest has left Belarus in a complex and divided state, with its leadership continuing to spark debate and scrutiny on the global stage. Russia has long been Belarus's primary economic partner, playing a critical role in supporting the nation's economy. By providing oil and gas at discounted rates, Russia has helped Belarus maintain a relatively stable standard of living. However, this dependence has raised concerns among many Belarusians about the potential erosion of national sovereignty. While the government focuses on maintaining order and stability, resistance among the population continues to simmer. The protests of the year 2020 highlighted an unprecedented desire for democracy. Beyond political freedoms, the people are expressing a strong yearning for a future marked by greater equality and justice. In this context, the path Belarus takes will have far-reaching implications. With a population of over 9 million, the nation's fate not only impacts its citizens, but also carries significant weight in shaping the geopolitical dynamics of the region. Number 5. The famous Belarusian black bread. In Belarus, bread goes far beyond being a simple staple. It's a cultural symbol deeply rooted in the people's spiritual traditions. Among the many varieties, black bread holds a special place of honor. It is seen as a symbol of prosperity, respect, and warm hospitality. For Belarusians, black bread isn't just a common food. It carries heartfelt meanings tied to affection and tradition, passed down through countless generations. One of the most unique and cherished customs involves welcoming guests with a slice of black bread and a pinch of salt. This act serves as a heartfelt blessing for the guests, wishing them prosperity and abundance. The bread symbolizes nourishment and fulfillment, while the salt represents luck and resilience. This ritual is not limited to casual visits. It also plays a significant role in weddings, festivals, and other major events, where offering bread and salt is both a welcome and a blessing. Interestingly, refusing bread or salt on such occasions is considered impolite and may even offend the host. So if you ever stumble across a Belarusian family, expect to be offered at least one slice of black bread with salt. It's not just a gesture of respect, but also a way to experience a meaningful part of their culture. Belarusian black bread, made from rye, boasts a rich, slightly tangy flavor that sets it apart from the more common white bread. While it's often enjoyed with butter, cheese, or smoked fish, salt remains the traditional pairing for ceremonial occasions. Still on Belarusian food, this list won't be complete without mentioning another popular beverage that pairs naively with black bread. Number 4. Krambambula, the famous Belarusian beverage. Krambambula is more than just a drink. It's a cherished part of Belarusian culture. Originating in the 16th century, it quickly gained popularity among the nobility, often featured at extravagant gatherings. Made from a blend of pure honey, rare herbs, and strong local spirits, Krambambula offers a warm, sophisticated flavor. Beyond its taste, it was once prized for its perceived health benefits. Many Belarusians believed it could strengthen the immune system, aid digestion, and help fight off colds, especially during the harsh winter months. This drink carries significant cultural weight, tied to the traditions and way of life of the Belarusian people. Once a staple at aristocratic feasts, Krambambula gradually fell out of favor as production costs rose and preferences shifted. However, a renewed interest in traditional culture, particularly among younger generations, has brought it back into the spotlight. Local producer S have revived the authentic recipe, making it a must-try specialty for visitors to Belarus. Today, Krambambula is served in bars and restaurants across Minsk and other major cities, offering an authentic taste of Belarusian heritage. Holding a warm glass of Krambambula, with its sweet honey and spicy herbal aroma, is a memorable way to experience Belarusian culture, especially during the country's characteristic chilly evenings. Next, let's relate how healthcare workers hold a special place in Belarusian society. Number 3. The tradition of gifting doctor. In Belarus, while healthcare services are entirely free as one would expect, a heartfelt tradition continues to thrive. Patients thank their doctors with thoughtful gifts instead of money. Unlike in many countries where monetary tips or payments are common, Belarusians prefer to express their gratitude in a more personal and meaningful way. It's not about being frugal, but about showing genuine appreciation through gestures that feel more heartfelt than handing over cash. When patients leave the hospital or recover from an illness, it's customary for them to present their doctor with a token of thanks. Often, this might be a bottle of fine cognac or a box of chocolates paired with warm words of gratitude. Cognac, in particular, holds a special status in Belarus because it's seen as a sophisticated and respectful gift. Offering a quality bottle isn't just about the item itself, but symbolizes deep appreciation for the care and effort the doctor provided. In some cases, patients go even further, presenting gift baskets filled with local treats like pure honey or smoked sausages. These offerings are more than just material items. They are a way for the giver to convey their emotions and respect. This tradition reflects the value Belarusians place on human connection and the importance of expressing gratitude in a way that feels both sincere and meaningful. Number 2. Self-sufficiency and internal sustenance. Growing one's own food in Belarus isn't just a habit, it's a cultural in itself. Whether living in rural areas or bustling cities, almost every family sets aside a small space to cultivate potatoes, carrots, onions, and other vegetables. For Belarusians, supermarkets are seen as a backup option, visited mainly for items they cannot produce themselves, like salt, sugar, cooking oil, or specialty spices. This self-reliant approach not only saves money, but also brings joy, as families take pride in nurturing their gardens and enjoying the fruits of their labor. Potatoes hold a special place in Belarusian culture and are considered the king of all crops. The country's continental climate and rich soil make it ideal for potato farming. These versatile tubers are a staple in traditional dishes like draniki or potato pancakes and mashed potatoes served with smoked meat. Beyond their role in daily meals, potatoes are stored in dedicated cool storage rooms, an essential feature in Belarusian households, ensuring a steady supply through the harsh winter months. Historically, potatoes have been a lifeline during times of scarcity, especially during wartime and post-war recovery. Even in urban centers like Minsk, residents make the most of their limited spaces by growing vegetables on balconies, rooftops, and windowsills. Pots filled with onions, tomatoes, cucumbers, zrenia, and herbs are a common sight, with organic compost from kitchen scraps often used as fertilizer. This sustainable practice not only benefits the environment, but also reinforces a sense of accomplishment. Belarus is also home to community gardens, found in nearly every neighborhood. These shared spaces allow residents to grow produce, connect with neighbors, and exchange their harvests. These gardens foster community spirit while serving as a hub for family bonding. Adults often teach children how to plant and care for vegetables, passing down valuable life skills and reinforcing gardening's importance in the nation's culture. Number 1. The Love Fortune Festival. Let's end our journey with the romantic and mysterious Ivan Kupala festival in Belarus. This ancient celebration brings people together to enjoy love, traditions, and a touch of magic. It's a lively and mystical event, perfect for romantics and maybe even a chance to find true love. Kupala night is rich with rituals centered on water, fire, and herbs, most of which take place under the cover of night. Bathing before sunset was a crucial tradition. In northern regions, Russians often used banyas or saunas, while in the south, rivers and lakes were the preferred choice. As the sun began to set, bonfires were ignited on elevated ground or near water bodies. In some cases, these fires were lit using an ancient method, that is, rubbing wood against wood to create friction. This traditional fire-lighting practice persisted in parts of Belarus and Volyn Policia until the early 20th century. Another popular tradition at the festival is floating flower wreaths down a river to predict love. Young women make wreaths from wildflowers and herbs and gently place them in the water. If the wreath floats away smoothly, it means the girl will soon meet her soulmate. But if it spins, sinks, or gets stuck, it might mean trouble in her love life. Also, yet another fun tradition during the celebrations is the rooster ritual. In some villages, people release a rooster into a group of young people to see who it runs toward. The lucky person is believed to be the next to marry. While it's mostly for fun, many Belarusians like to believe there's a bit of magic and fate involved. Thanks for watching. See you in our next video.